Hello again, everybody. I'm Snapper Lancaster, welcoming you to another edition of the Central Alabama High School Sports Show. We got a special show tonight, in as much as we've got one championship team being represented tonight. Of course, it's going to be out of the sport of wrestling, and we look forward to talking with their coach and some of his athletes. And we've also got an outstanding ladies basketball team that's going to be here tonight, their coaches, their coach and their athletes. And of course, we talked about last week that this week would be the Final Four down at the Birmingham Jefferson Civic Center. Of course, it's called the Credit Union Civic Center this week. But the Final Four in Birmingham and the Jefferson County area are going to be very well represented. For instance, the Homewood girls are there, the Homewood boys are there, the Shades Valley girls, the Woodlawn boys, the Wenonah girls, and the Ramsey boys. And in the biggest classification, Class 7A, we've got Hoover, and we've got the Mountain Brook boys. And as everyone's aware of, Mountain Brook has won the state championship the last 2 years in a row, and they've got another outstanding team under Bucky McMillan. They will make a serious run at the #1 title again. If they can win it, it'd be the 3rd year in a row. So we talked about this last week. There's a lot of representation from different sports here in the Birmingham Jefferson County area that are winning titles. We've been able to recognize some. We've got another one tonight, but we've got a lot with 8 teams down at the Civic Center for the Final Four. There's a great possibility that we're going to have some more championship won here in the Birmingham Jefferson County area. And of course, that's what all these coaches and the young athletes work all season for. And we've got a great representation. Get down there, support your favorite school, because there's a chance that, like I said, we've got 8 shots at the title, and I'm sure we're going to win some. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, our first guest of the evening.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
Make this your best year. Benton Nissan has the best Nissan deals, and in 2015, we're happy to bring you the best warranty in Birmingham. Get our exclusive 1,000,000-mile warranty on new and pre-owned Nissans. Plus, during the Best for Less event, 2015 Altimas are just $18,980. 2014 Rogues, only $19,980. Shop a huge selection of top pre-owned vehicles from $99 a month. Get the best for less at Benton Nissan in Hoover or in Oxford. Come see me, your friend in the car business.
If you want to personalize that special vehicle you drive, whether it be a car, SUV, or that truck that you love so much, then you need to visit the Drive Shop. They're located between downtown Trussville and Deerfoot Parkway on Highway 11, where their fine service staff of professionals are waiting to serve you. The services include auto systems, security and remote start systems, tires and wheels, and window tinting, just to name a few. So come by and visit them today, or find them online at thedriveshop.com, or visit us on the Facebook. That's the Drive Shop in Trussville, 533-8785. Also, if you mention Snapper's name, you'll receive a 10% discount.
Good driver discount, multi-car discount, good student discount. Helping you save money on car insurance is just part of the service you get from State Farm agent Jack Traffinstead. Whether an accident or a simple question, Jack and his staff get you the help you need. And that's the value only a State Farm agent can provide. Call Jack Traffinstead today. 40 million drivers already know nobody gives more discounts to more drivers than State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And folks, welcome back. As we talked about earlier, we have a championship coach here tonight. Of course, it's Matt Hicks, the outstanding wrestling coach from Leeds. And the thing that's very unique about this, one, this is Leeds' first wrestling championship, and it's his first year coach. Coach, that's quite a combination there. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. We got some really good kids. They know how to win.
Well, I tell you what, before we get to talking about this year and what you and your young men did, talk a little bit about your background, Coach, if you would. What led you to being the wrestling coach there at Leeds?
I wrestled in high school here at Trussville High School. Graduated in '92 and wrestled for a real good coach, Tony Pugh, who is pretty well known around the state.
Yeah, Coach Pugh, I've had him on a few times.
I went from, I played football at the University of West Alabama and left there and went to Scottsboro. I was the wrestling coach at Scottsboro for 2 years, and from there I went to Cleveland County for 5, St. Clair County for 9, and we won the state title at St. Clair County in 2011, and then this was my first year at Leeds.
Well, what a first year it was. And first of all, let's talk about it being your first year. Talk about the situation with the relationship with your athletes, how it came along, and it had to come along quickly and develop quickly, because you're not that successful if it doesn't happen that way.
Coach Etheridge had a lot to do with that. The relationship he has with these kids is pretty evident when you talk to him. And that's the kind of coach that I try to emulate. I want to have that same type of relationship with my athletes that he has. So it was a natural fit for me when I talked to Coach Etheridge, and you know, he talked about his kids in football, and it just kind of fit. Like I said, I try to emulate him. I admire him. So. Just kind of fit that way.
And of course, there's been a lot of success out there at Leeds in football and basketball, but wrestling hasn't ever reached the level that you and your team reached this year. And with that in mind, talk about the last few years. Have you seen the sport of wrestling pick up as far as interest from athletes, more young men participating in it, and the quality? The coaches, I think, are getting better in wrestling too.
Well, yes, sir. The longer we go along, the longer there's been wrestling in Alabama, the more teams there are. I think we competed with 54 teams in our classification this year. I think it used to be 64 in football in each classification. I'm not quite sure what it is now, but 54 is a lot of teams.
Right.
And so you're finding more and more programs getting started. That's more and more kids getting involved, and it's really taken off in Leeds, and we're continuously trying to get it bigger too. We're in the process right now trying to form youth leagues and things like that in our local area to try to continue the sport.
Well, now, what do you see the difference in the athletes today, that some of them, and it hadn't always been this case, wrestling is an avenue for a college education just like some of the other sports are. So that has appealed and piqued the interest of a lot of young men that wrestle today as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, so you have a lot of off-season wrestling clubs now, and we're just now starting to tap into that resource at Leeds. We've got several kids that are involved with Alabama Wrestling Club that are wrestling some in the off-season, in addition to their high school seasons. And the more they do that, the higher quality of kids they're going to see throughout the nation, the better we're going to get, and it just kind of trickles down from there.
Well, now talk about some of these teams that you've had, like, for instance, I don't know how many compared to other sports, how many matches you guys have during a season. Roughly how many matches did your team participate in?
Oh, goodness. We're allowed 14 dates and unlimited tournaments. So, but many times you have as many as 4 matches on one of those dates. So we were probably in the 40 to 45 matches range as far as team matches, but then in tournaments, depending on how you do,
right,
you may get 5, you may get 2 if you're winning. We actually got a late start. Typically I like to cap my kids off between 40 and 50. I really don't like going more than 50, but sometimes when they're good, they're gonna get more than 50 because they're gonna wrestle longer in tournaments. So.
Did you have anything to do with the scheduling this year, or was that already done?
No, I scheduled it this year. There wasn't really anything carved out for me. So we did a whole bunch of traveling this year, which was hard this year in the first year, but it'll be a lot better next year. We're going to be a very senior-laden team next year, have a lot of seniors coming back, I mean a bunch. And that'll be good. They'll get to wrestle at home a lot more this year than we did, next year than we did this year.
Do you have, is it your perspective on coaching, do you like to schedule tougher opponents where win or lose, your guys grow from it?
I do. I do. We were able to participate in the Thompson tournament. You know, Thompson is a powerhouse. Coach Welton does a great job with them. And we were the only team in our classification that was there. Everybody there was a higher classification than us. And we'll go back next year. And I've already been in discussion with Hewitt-Trussville and Mountain Brook High School and Thompson again, and several Southside High School out of Gadsden. They're all going to be on our schedule next year. So, you know, we did very, very well this year, so we're going to have to pick up, you know, and strive for more.
Can you sort of feel that the community is starting to gravitate toward the wrestling and the sports and watching the youngsters and being involved more with the youngsters nowadays?
Well, yes, sir. I think Leeds was hungry for success in the sport. When they started talking to me, it was pretty much, you know, a given that that's what they wanted to do. That's the direction they wanted to go in. They felt like they had talent and they hadn't quite performed up to the level of expectation they wanted. And they let it be known when they first started talking to me that they felt that they could do really well. Wayne Gardner actually was the first that told me this summer. He said, "Sure, it's going to be something when you win one in football and wrestling." And I was like, "Easy, let's slow down a minute. You know, we're going to have to crawl before we walk." But somebody forgot to tell the kids that. They were ready to win now, and that's what they did.
Well, I tell you what, the one thing that's got to be appealing to you is, like you say, winning this year, maybe you didn't expect it, but good thing happens when you get good coaching, good athletes. Next year, you're going to be laden with seniors, so we wish you not only enjoy this one, but next year you'll have that bullseye on your back. It'll probably be tougher, but I got a feeling you and your team will be ready for it.
Well, I appreciate it. I tried to tell the kids, you know, we were state champions for a glorious weekend. For one glorious weekend, we were the state champions, and now we're just one of 54 teams trying to win it again next year.
Well, Coach, good to have you with us. And folks, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll visit with four gentlemen so instrumental in that title that Leeds won this year. We'll be right back.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven. A taste of heaven is always best. Now you know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
Make this your best year. Benton Nissan has the best Nissan deals, and in 2015, we're happy to bring you the best warranty in Birmingham. Get our exclusive million-mile warranty on new and pre-owned Nissans. Plus, during the Best for Less event, 2015 Altimas are just $18,980. 2014 Rogues, only $19,980. Shop a huge selection of top pre-owned vehicles from $99 a month. Get the best for less at Benton Nissan in Hoover or in Oxford. Come see me, your friend in the car business.
Are you sure we should take this billboard down?
People find out State Farm does car loans as well as they do insurance. Our bank is through.
Good point. Grab an edge.
Look, there's two guys on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
No, for real, there's two dudes on the State Farm
Borrow Better banking sign.
Gentlemen, please get down from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign. Phil, get the hose.
Okay, he's getting the hose.
All right, let's go.
Want to borrow better? Contact State Farm agent Thomas Waters about a car loan that can save you hundreds.
And folks, welcome back. And as we talked about a moment ago, we've got four young athletes here. As a matter of fact, all of them are juniors, which will be seniors next year, which means that there's going to be a lot expected out of them next year. And let me tell you something, guys, right off the bat, if you never won a wrestling championship before, which you haven't, now you got a target on your back, but it's a good target. Now, some of you guys are familiar with championships, aren't you? And we'll talk about that in a moment too. But first, sitting closest to me, Torin Pollard, who is a junior. You wrestle on the 138-pound classification, right? Alex Nickel in the 152-pound, right?
Yes, sir.
And then behind me, Trey Nation, the 220, and then Josephus Smith in the 285. And I got a feeling that's a heavyweight.
Yes, sir.
And did you win your title for your classification, your weight?
Yes,
you did. Won. I figured you probably would. I don't see many people be messing with you, Josephus, and I don't blame them. I wouldn't either. But Torin, let's start with you. First, have you wrestled very long?
I started my 8th grade year.
Okay.
Yes,
so this is the first championship for the school, first championship for you. How did it feel? And going into this season, did you feel like you and your teammates had the ability to win a state championship?
Well, we always knew that the talent was here. It was just something different. This season, you had the feeling of a family, you know. When you come together as a family, it's something special, and I feel like that's what we did.
And another important thing and another important change, and Alex, we'll ask you about this, is the coach, having a new coach. How was the adjustment or the transition for you as an athlete?
Well, it was a big transition. You know, he held us accountable, and I don't really think we've had a coach at Leeds challenge us like he challenged us this year.
And I guess sometimes you appreciate that because it makes you, for lack of a better way to say it, probably want to work harder at your craft, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, Trey, I know you do more than wrestle. You at least play football. Is that the only other sport you're involved in?
No, sir, I play baseball too.
Okay, so one of these three-star athletes, and there aren't that many of you anymore, especially in the higher classifications. Lower classifications maybe, but I'm going to take it for granted that you like them all equally. Yes, right? Sir. It's hard to pick one over the other one, isn't it? But going into this year, and I'll ask you the same thing, did you think that you and your teammates were capable of this?
Yes, sir. I believe that we came in with a different attitude, and the whole team was in it, not just one person. And Coach Hicks, like Alex said, held us accountable.
Okay. And Josephus, being a heavyweight, that's the biggest classification. And that's a challenge. So the question that I would ask you, how long have you been wrestling?
This is actually my first year wrestling.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, why did you decide to do that? Did you think it would help you in your football, or as far as but your football, you'll have another year of that too, right?
Yes, sir.
What was the reason that made you go to wrestle this year?
Well, I was thinking about wrestling because people didn't want me wrestling in 9th grade, but Coach Hicks talked to me, and I think I was gonna like it, so I came and tried, and I liked it.
Was it one of those situations too, where I find this happens a lot with wrestlers and football players, that one sport helps you in the other one? It helps you like with your quickness and your strength, your agility. And are you finding that out as well?
Yes, I think it's gonna help me use my hands better and get off the blocks better. So yeah, I think it's gonna help me in football.
Well, good. Now Turin, one thing about it, when there's a lot of rivalries that take places in sports now. Wrestling, I don't know how much that is. You've been around a while, and since you have probably crossed paths with people on the same teams through the years. Or you may like competing against one team better than another. Is there one that stands out to you, or is there an athlete or an opponent you've had to wrestle a few times you always look forward to seeing?
Well, he's graduated now, but ever since my 8th grade year, I used to wrestle Robert Lowry from Pell City that wrestles at Huntington College now, and he always used to give me a good match, so that's one wrestler that I always like to wrestle.
So that challenge where I felt like if he gave you a good match, you probably gave him a pretty good one too, didn't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Alex, one thing that's important in team sports is this thing called chemistry. Now, if you've got a good chemistry, good relationship with one another, you can make yourself better not only as an individual, but as a team. Talk about the team chemistry that you and your teammates had this year.
Well, we have a wrestler on the team. We like to call him Uncle. He's before every match, you can hear him from across the gym. You'll hear him go, "Uh-oh," and then that's when you know that you got a Leeds wrestler up there on the mat. So I think that each wrestler has a person on the team that's going to be on the mat. And if we have, say we have 2 different people wrestling at the same time at a tournament, we'll have 6 people at each mat. We'll split it up. There's just a different feeling when you've got somebody on the mat next to you, and then you can feel them.
Right, giving you that support.
Yes, sir.
One thing that I always wonder about a wrestler, and I could have said something to Coach about this, but I'm going to say it with you guys. And I don't know wrestling as well as I do other sports, and I know it's not the Saturday night type wrestling. That's not what we're talking about, the fake stuff. But to me, there's got to be 3 things in my feeble mind that you guys have to be thinking about going into a match. And I'm going to ask each one of you to answer it whichever way it fits you. But we'll start with you, Torin. And the thing about it, you either got to go in with the idea that 1, you're going to fight to pin the guy that you're in against, or 2, he may be a tough opponent and you just don't want to get pinned, so you are a little defensive from that standpoint. Or 3, and to me, this would be the one where you feel like you're in a tough match, you may not win it, you're going to do everything you can to keep from losing it. So there's three, maybe at least, and there may be more, mindsets that you guys have when you go into a wrestling match. And I want each one of you to talk about it. So we'll start with you, Tori.
Well, one of my role models is Jordan Burroughs, and I watch him a lot, and I like read his press conferences and watch him a lot. And the one mindset that I always have when I go into matches is that guy standing across from me wants to take everything I worked for all year. It's just, if I'm letting him take it, he's going to take it. He has to take it from me. I'm not going to give it up.
That's a good way to look at it. How about you, Alex?
Well, you're going to go into each match. You're either going to win or you're going to lose. And I feel like if you're going to win, then you should win the right way. And you should, the work that you put in, that's going to come out and show on the mat. So I think that if you end up losing, that if you're a disciplined athlete, that you can take the loss and then make it into a win in the long run.
Well, now you brought up something that I don't know any difference, and maybe I ought to, but I don't, and I'll be honest about it. In high school wrestling, there are no draws.
No, sir.
You're either going to win or lose. Okay, well, see, that maybe I should have known that, but I really didn't. So that's why I was thinking along the lines that sometimes you'd fight not to lose. Say you both got a point for if you had a draw, but then that's out the window. So I can understand what you're talking about. How about you, Trey?
Well, I don't really like to lose, so I go in with a mindset that I'm going to win, and that helps me win a lot of my matches. But when I step on the mat, I'm usually going to push my opponent for the first period, and then in the second period, I'm really looking for a pin. So.
Okay, well, see, then there is strategy to a degree, and a lot of it has to do, I guess, with how you're going to wrestle, with how tough you think your opponent is or is not, right? And there's a lot of times where you, like some of the other guys, have wrestled the same persons before, so sometimes you know a little bit about your opponent going in, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Josephus, how about you?
Well, before I go in the match, I always tell myself, just be physical. If I be physical, I know I can win the match. So I'm always telling myself, just be physical. And I be shooting to get the first takedown. So if I get the first takedown, I know I got a big chance of winning the match. So those are the two things I always tell myself, be physical and get the first takedown.
So in the first match, you're going to be aggressive. In the first part of the match, overly aggressive, maybe try to get that edge, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, something tells me, are you one of these guys that on the mat you're a bear, but off the mat you're a teddy bear? And I don't mean that in an ugly way. I mean that might be your personality, an easygoing guy is what I'm talking about.
Well, there were a lot of people say that about me, but I mean I may be, but when you step on the mat in front of me, it's a different.
Oh, it's all business then, isn't it? Okay. All right, guys. One thing that I like to ask athletes and wrestlers I don't see as much of, but I'm always curious about this too. I met, and of course I've seen Trey before, but I met you guys for the first time tonight. If there might be something that I don't know about you, that might be a hobby you have or an interest you have that maybe people wouldn't know. You might want to be a hunter, you might play the piano, you might be a fisherman, write poetry, you get the idea. So if I was going to find out something about you, what would it be?
This one thing that I like to do is I take the time to look up quotes that like really define me, and I like to memorize like my favorite poems and quotes and things like that. So I guess I'm a real literal guy. Like I like literature a lot.
Nothing wrong with that. Alex?
I like spending a lot of my off time with like babies and kids and stuff, and I also play the guitar.
Really?
Yes,
okay. Good. Trey?
Well, I like spending most of my off time training and helping others like Alex.
Oh, okay. Josephus?
I like spending my off time training, and I like watching Ray Lewis videos to see what he did to get where he was at. So that's why I like doing it.
Well, I tell you what, you couldn't emulate anybody any better. Very quickly, we're under a different system tonight, guys, and I apologize. Very quickly, at this point in your young lives, most inspirational person or persons?
My mom.
Your mom.
My mom.
Mom's always there.
My coach and my dad.
Hey, okay.
My mom and my coaches.
Well, good. Well, I tell you what, guys, before we get away, congratulations. You're going to have a bullseye on your back next year, but it's a good bullseye. It means people are trying to knock off the #1 guy. And also, folks, I want to tell you this, too. Wrestlers are like any of the rest of us, any of their programs. They need money. Anybody out there in the Leeds area that could help the wrestling program, hey, we're all in. You'll be helping a championship group of young men. Guys, congratulations again.
Thank you.
Folks, we'll take a quick break, come back with guest number 2, coach number 2. We'll be right back. The Drive Shop in Trussville not only personalizes cars, SUVs, and trucks, they can personalize your motorcycle or ATV as well. They also specialize in automotive accessories to fit your specification. They provide performance and fuel economy upgrades, lift kits, off-road accessories, custom lighting, bed liners, and much more. Once again, that's the Drive Shop located just north of downtown Trussville on Highway 11. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. and on Saturday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The number to call, 533-8785. Or visit us online at thedriveshop.com or like us on Facebook. Don't forget, you'll receive a 10% discount if you mention Snapper's name.
Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven. A taste of heaven is always best. Now you know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
Make this your best year. Benton Nissan has the best Nissan deals, and in 2015, we're happy to bring you the best warranty in Birmingham. Get our exclusive 1,000,000-mile warranty on new and pre-owned Nissans. Plus, during the Best for Less event, 2015 Altimas are just $18,980. 2014 Rogues, only $19,980. Shop a huge selection of top pre-owned vehicles from $99 a month. Get the best for less at Benton Nissan in Hoover or in Oxford. Come see me, your friend in the car business.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say, I combined home and auto with State Farm.
Saved $760.
Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to call Alan Gurdeau in Trussville today.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
And folks, welcome back. And like I talked about earlier tonight, in this segment, we're changing sports altogether, going from wrestling to ladies basketball. And we're fortunate enough to have the ladies coach for the Wenonah Dragons. And of course, we're talking about Coach Emanuel Bell. And Coach, good to see you.
Hey, Snapper, how you doing?
Good, and congratulations on what's been a great year so far.
Been a great year.
And we hope it's not near over yet.
No, it's not over yet.
but I know Coach and I were talking about the fact that he's been in the business 21 years, but not only that, the significant part of it is he's already had some championship teams, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But Coach, I don't know if the job here at Wenonah was your first coaching job or not.
Well, I did 3 years at Jones Valley Middle School, the feeder school to Wenonah High School, and once Miss Eleanor Pitts left and went to Lawson State Community College, then I came in behind her. Yeah.
And Coach Bell and I have a little bit of a tie. I went to Jones Valley High School, but I graduated way back in '63.
Yeah.
He's old enough to be my little brother, folks. But and Coach, you were also telling me about the fact, because I asked a dumb question, you ask a dumb question, you're going to get an answer, it makes you look bad. I said, was this your first team, or had you ever won a championship? And I had to feel sort of ashamed of me, because you won, what, 2 or 3 already?
3, yeah.
3 championships already. Yeah. So the one question that I would ask you then is, you're going into the Final Four this week. Does this team look like one that can do some serious damage in the tournament?
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. We're young, you know, only got one senior, Taiwan English. We're young, but they're a hard-working group of kids, and we should finish the task that we started.
Well, now you're talking about that. Some of these girls, because Tawana's been in the program, what, 4 years at least?
4 years, right.
And then you got youth on your side.
Right.
And so that not only sets well for this final tournament that you're in here at the finals, but it also looks good for you next year.
It sets a pace, you know. Wenonah's always had a tradition of girls basketball. They've always been successful with Miss Pitts there, you know. They got 6 state championships for girls at Wenonah since the school has been in business. And so we're just trying to keep it going. You know, it's like a tradition at Wenonah with girls basketball.
And I get a feeling from talking with you, Coach, that this team this year wasn't a surprise to you.
No, because the last set that I had, I graduated 6 last year, and when I got them all in the freshman year, you know, it took me 2 years to get them. You know, they were just as talented, but it just took me 2 years to get them where they were. I told this group here, I'm not waiting another time. We're going to get this one because my nucleus was there last year, and we brought in a freshman that we added this year. But the nucleus was there. They saw what it took to get there and saw what it took to get there and win it. So, you know, I didn't hold back nothing with this group.
Well, now one thing is being said for the young ladies there at Wenonah, they seem to gravitate to the basketball program. You don't seem to have any problem with the talent falling off from year to year. And that's a compliment to you, and not only to you, but to the young athletes, that evidently they feel like, hey, they've won in the past, we want to keep winning.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's a compliment to my coaching staff. I just feel like I had one of the greatest coaching staffs in the country, you know, and they bring the kids in and get them acclimated to a winning system. Then it's easy to get the kids, you know, to come in and bite into what you're trying to teach them. You know, when you got a history of winning, you know they got to come in. Either you're going to come in and be successful and be strong and be determined, or you're going to fall to the wayside.
Well, you know, one thing I try to tell and relay this to the folks out there watching us is that, and a head coach will tell you this, a lot of times he's only as good as his assistants.
Man, please, believe me, you know, I'm the head coach on paper. But I got a staff that's phenomenal, unbelievable. You know, Byron Allen, Kenneth Lane, Tamika Dennis. You know, I got people over there that's helping us. Miss Pat Brown, Pat High, with them High boys, sister that used to be at Lawson State, and Johnny High. Okay, his sister. And then, you know, we got Miss Bird, one of our, you know, just people that's with us. You know, just people that help mold these young ladies into the athletes and the student athletes that we, you know, to be.
And you know, that's the one thing.
Graduated 6 last year.
Yeah, that's
they all
the one
go
thing
to college.
that we try to push up here is the fact that the ladies have to be academically minded for the simple reason if you don't qualify, you don't get to play. And that's not the way you want it. One last question. I know the time's getting away from us, but in all the success that you've had, are you one of these coaches that you've got a mindset of how you want it done, you're not going to deviate from it very far, or are you one of these, if your talent dictates you do something in a different way, will you compromise your standards for the success of the team? Talk about that.
You know, my thing is to let a kid, do what I tell you to do, but also if you got to create, you got to create. You don't want to just stymie a kid from being creative. It's because you're not going to let them fall too far away from the norm. Because if they do, then you got an I instead of a team, instead of a we. And we try to teach the we process at Wenonah.
Well, I was going to say, from that standpoint, it sounds like to me that, and it's been proven by your record, your championships, by the caliber person you are to start with, that you have a system. You want to incorporate your girls into that system. If they'll do it your way and be patient, it may not come fast, but if they eventually see that you know what you're doing, and you're going to make them better than they think they are, well, then you'll buy into something like that. Well, Coach, I tell you what, it seems like you've been awfully successful thus far. You've got a chance to be very successful again this year, and what I mean by that, it doesn't get any better than state championships. But you have that to look forward to down the road as well. So congratulations on a great career so far.
Over 460 wins.
Well, I hope it continues.
Yeah.
You continue to pile them up. And good luck this week in the tournament, okay?
All right, Sam.
And we're going to take a quick break, and when we get back, 4 young ladies have been very instrumental in the success of this year's tournament.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. Now, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
Make this your best year. Benton Nissan has the best Nissan deals, and in 2015, we're happy to bring you the best warranty in Birmingham. Get our exclusive million-mile warranty on new and pre-owned Nissans. Plus, during the Best for Less event, 2015 Altimas are just $18,980. 2014 Rogues, only $19,980. Shop a huge selection of top pre-owned vehicles from $99 a month. Get the best for less at Benton Nissan in Hoover or in Oxford. Come see me, your friend in the car business.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm.
Saved $760.
Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to call Ted Townley in Homewood today.
And folks, welcome back. In this segment, of course, we're visiting 4 young ladies that have had an outstanding season thus far, but hope that it's not over with. And sitting closest to me, Wenonah English. Wenonah's a senior, and you're a forward. Courtney Smith, you are a sophomore and a guard. And Caitlin Rogers, where's Caitlin? There she is, smiling. You're a center forward, and you're a junior. And then, of course, we got Jayla Mara, who is a sophomore, and you're the point guard.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, folks, this is a very good team, and the reason they're a very good team is going into this season, I got a feeling they knew they were going to be one. Didn't you, Wenonah?
Yes, sir.
You did. Well, talk to me about that. What made you and your team confident going into this season that you could have a successful season?
First, we all got together as a team and stayed together. We never fell apart, and then before the season started, we all worked together and stayed together. Even on off days, we came in the gym and worked and just worked.
Well, good. That's what you got to do to be the best you can be, right? Now, let me tell you something else. There's something else you got to do to be the best you can be. And Courtney, this is going to fall on your shoulders to answer this question, okay?
All right.
There's a word called chemistry. And in sports, it's very important because if you like each other, if you pull for one another, help one another, you not only become better as an individual, but as a team. So from the chemistry aspect, talk about that situation with this year's team.
Well, the chemistry in the team is really strong. We always sit around, we just laugh and play, and then when it comes to game time, we just form that bond and we know who's going to do this and who's going to do that. So the chemistry is really well in the team. Well,
that's good because it does. And let me tell you something else that chemistry does. Let's take it, for instance, that maybe sometimes one of you girls was stepping out of line a little bit, okay? But the coach doesn't really know how to intervene, although I got a feeling you got a pretty smart coach there. But sometimes you girls can police yourselves and say, hey, look, you shouldn't be doing this. We're trying to come together as a team. Caitlin, junior.
Yes, sir.
And a center forward.
Yes, sir.
Which one of those positions do you enjoy the most? And are you a tough physical player, or are you a finesse, try to use your quickness type player?
I like forward more than center, but I'm a little bit of both.
Are you?
Yeah.
You bang when you have to?
Right.
In other words, if there's a ball loose, it's got your name on it.
Right.
Okay, well, there's nothing wrong with that. Jayla, how about you? All right, you're the point guard.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Be honest with me. Only the coach knows, because I won't know, because I don't know you that well, although I'll be able to tell. You're smiling, that's good. Now, being the point guard, do you enjoy that perfect pass, perfect assist, or do you enjoy scoring?
I like to pass more than I like to score.
Really?
I like to
Okay.
get my team involved.
Yeah, setting up, and that's a very important aspect of a point guard's game. You can be selfish and want the points, or you can be unselfish and want the team to just execute better, right?
Yes,
okay, now going into this year, Tawana, you being a senior, I like to play make-believe sometimes, and so you're a senior and we can do this. If you could go to any college you wanted to, where would you go, and then what kind of courses would you take?
That's a hard decision, but I think I would rather go to a junior college first to just start off small and then work my way up. Okay. But I probably would want to go to Wallace.
Really? Somewhere fairly close? In other words, you wouldn't want to travel far away to play. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Now Courtney, what I want to know about you is being a 10th grader. Does that put more pressure on you because of being a 10th grader, or do you consider that a compliment because the coach has the confidence in you to play you over, say, a junior or senior?
I think it's both, because it's both. Like, I feel good that I'm actually a sophomore and I'm on a varsity winning team. We're finna go to a championship, and it'll be my second championship. So I feel like, yeah, but I feel sometimes a lot of pressure, because sometimes it gets a little hard, so I have to keep focused.
But you grow from that, though, don't
you?
Caitlin, one of the questions that I would like to ask you is, being a seasoned veteran, because you're a junior, do you enjoy playing at home, where you have that home crowd, that home cooking, everybody pulling for you? Or do you like to go, and I've heard players say this, you like to go on the road where they don't seem like there's as much pressure on you to do real well at home and silence that hostile crowd that's hollering at you and calling you nice names and all this kind of stuff, but your play dictates all of a sudden the gym gets quiet. It's because y'all are in control. So which setting do you like the most?
I like to play on the road because I like to beat people at their house, especially if we go out of town and they don't know us. They're like, who are they? So when we leave, we want them to know our name.
Hey, I like that. And I've heard other people say that, but the one thing you mentioned was you go on the road out of town and do that, and that's even more impressive. Right. And then Jayla, point guard. Now, are there teams, and I realize you just been a 10th grader, but how many years have you been playing basketball?
Since I was 4.
Well, then you've been around a while. You've been on the varsity a year or two already?
I started playing varsity in my 8th grade year.
No, you didn't.
Yes, sir.
Well, bless your heart. All right, now you've played long enough. Are there teams that you enjoy playing against more than other teams?
Yes, sir.
Who?
I love to play against Ramsey.
Wow.
Because they think they're better than us.
Right.
So I like to show them.
Well, that's good. You might have a good point there. They think. Now, see, a lot of times y'all think y'all are better than somebody else, but what we got to do, we got to go out and prove it, right? And so that's what that motivation is for. Now, girls, we're going to look to your feministic side a little bit, okay? Now, this should be very simple for you. I've met all of your girls for the first time tonight, okay? So I know that there's got to be something in your life that you like, whether it's dancing, singing, playing the piano, skipping rope. I don't know what it is, but it's a hobby or something you like doing that nobody would know about. But now you want to share it with me and the rest of the world. What would that be for you, Tawana? You sing in the shower? I'm just trying to help you. Do you write poetry? No, I don't guess that's it. Okay.
Actually, on my off time after basketball season, I actually go into doing hair.
No.
Yes.
You try to make pretty people look prettier, right? So a hairstylist of some kind?
Yes, sir.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Beauty is only skin deep unless we can do something that's skin, isn't it? Okay. Now, Courtney, how about you? What do I not know about you?
Well, I'm an all-around athlete, so I play volleyball, softball, AAU. I'm all the way around sports.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, now, like, you're a confident little thing, too.
Oh, yeah.
And that's good. What's your favorite sport?
I say basketball.
I figured that was good. That's a good answer. Coaches like to hear that, so that's good. You'd make a good politician. You know that, don't you? Caitlin, how about you?
Well,
that's a deep subject.
I love to read.
You do. All right. Now, do you read fiction, nonfiction?
I read all types of books.
You do? So, see, I wasn't going to say something like, do you read comic books? That would be wrong.
No.
Does history interest you?
No, it's very boring.
I like an honest girl. I don't think much of it either. It just has to happen, you know, for us. Okay, Jayla, what would you be?
Well, I like to hang out with my friends and crack jokes.
Crack jokes, right. Are you a female Bill Cosby?
No, sir.
No, sir? Okay. But I mean, you just got to keep people loose, right? Okay. All right, now, first of all, Tawana, did it surprise you that this year's team is in the Final Four?
No, sir.
Is that a goal y'all had from the very beginning of the season?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, y'all, with a 30-3 record, and I'll ask you this, Courtney, you didn't have many peaks and valleys, you know, ups and downs where you would play well or stretcher and then maybe lose a game or two. You didn't have that problem. What do you attribute the situation where y'all played good, outstanding basketball the whole season long?
What did I attribute? Well, I attribute a lot. Like, I attribute like defense and making offense play and defense plays. In some games, you know, I wasn't on. I just picked my teammates up and, you know, helped them so we still be winning.
Let me tell you something. You hit on a good point. Defense is important in basketball too, for the simple reason if the other team don't score, you know you're going to win, right? But if they score less, we know y'all are going to win.
Yeah,
and sometimes you can, like you say, you girls be having an off night. All of a sudden you make a big defensive play, and then what happens? You're all excited, right? And what does it do? It carries over to the offense, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, girls, we only got 2 minutes left. I told you this would pass fast, and this question I want you to think about just for a second, because that's about all we can think about it, all right? But these other girls have a chance to think about it a second, but you don't. But here I'm going to ask each and every one of you to this point in your young lives, who's been the most inspirational person or persons? Who's meant the most to you?
I can go first.
No, you cannot.
Really, my point guard, Jayla. She really inspired me to do better, work harder, because she really worked the hardest out of everybody in practice. So she really inspired me to work harder, keep going, and you shouldn't take no days off.
Good. Well, that's a good lesson too. Courtney, how about you?
Well, my inspiration since day one was my grandfather. He passed, and he was like really big in Wenonah, and he never really saw me play for real. Yeah, so he died the year before I came to Wenonah as an 8th grader, so he was just like my inspiration. So I kind of like play for him and like do things for him because he was like a really big part of Wenonah.
Okay, good. How about you, Caitlin?
My mom.
Okay.
Because she's like the hardest working person that I know. She works hard because she has to, not because she wants to.
Okay.
Well, I would say LeBron James.
Okay. Is that's where you get a lot of your work ethic from and everything? Well, girls, let me tell you what, regardless of who it is, important week coming up, got a chance to win a championship, let's go out and do it, okay?
Yes,
Thanks for coming by. Folks, same time, same place next week. You know what the Snapper always says, bicycle.